Let's talk about your lousy former chief newsreader, shall we? Huw Edwards, your in-house paedophile, who left the organisation last year after being convicted of paedophile sex offences, hardcore child porn he was in possession of, so he was convicted of that. Should have gone to jail but didn't. Anyway, he's been living a quiet life down in Wales. That's where he's from ever since. But now he's getting noisy again. Suddenly he posted on social media a broody sort of online picture portrait. There it is. Doesn't it look great, eh? And he also has reactivated all his social media accounts. So people are saying, is this guy thinking of staging some kind of TV showbizy comeback? Well, I would say he's got about as much chance of succeeding in that endeavour as his fellow child sex abuser, Gary Glitter. It's not likely to happen, but something is going on with this guy. So in your dreams, Huw, good luck with that. You're going to need it. But what was extraordinary was when he posted all this, all these people from the BBC, former colleagues of his, start saying, good on you, Huw, terrible the way the BBC treat you, looking good, Huw, go for it, Huw. Unbelievable. Let's talk to the Chief Executive of Freedom from Abuse, Marilyn Hawes. Marilyn, Huw Edwards, it's a bit brazened. I think both him and these supporters of his from the BBC who have emerged from the woodwork saying, good on you, Huw, good luck with your comeback, the BBC treated you appallingly, they don't seem to have any concept of the enormity of his crime. He is a child sex abuser. He had in his possession vile images, hardcore porn images of children being abused. To say that this guy could even contemplate making a comeback is ridiculous. That won't work. But what worries me is all these BBC types who seem to think he hasn't done much wrong. They don't get it, do they?
He's a grubby little toad. I said it back in the day and I'm saying it again now. He's a typical narcissistic abuser. All abusers are narcissistic. No abusers have empathy, remorse, accountability, and they all have this incredible creepy charm that manages to sort of almost groom and sort of coerce people into. They had a tremendous plausible ability to say, yeah, it really wasn't me. I mean, honestly, and idiots and lefties and wokies will go along with it. But I think I'm right in saying I heard today that even some, oh, it's a surprise, some clergymen have also backed him. I mean, he's choosing his audience, isn't he? And these people have no thought of the victims. So all this stuff that he's doing to promote himself, the trauma, the re-traumatizing of those people that he horrifically abused. What about them? But this is a typical narcissist in plain sight. This is what they do. They cannot walk away. They cannot accept their blame. They will keep on coming back and back and back until you try to get people to say, yeah, I'm really quite lovely. No, you're not. You're a grubby little toad and you always will be. Go down your little hole and hide.
Yeah, he needs to know something, Marilyn. I know a little bit about how showbiz works, and showbiz stars can be forgiven for a lot, but they're never forgiven for paedophilia. Ask Gary Glitter. He won't be staging a comeback. But what I think is surprising is since he started posting these brooding pictures of himself on Facebook and and Instagram, for example, on Facebook, one of his pals is Mike Longley. He's a former presenter and he's ex-head of music at BBC Wales. Longley posted, "Hi Huw, we've met several times at BBC Llandaf," said Longley. "Just wanted to say the way the corporation treated you was and still is a disgrace. Miss your awesome style of work. Hope you are okay." Yeah, he was really good at reading the auto. Nice. Yeah, but look, my point is, you know, Huw is delusional. But these people, you know, the BBC treated you, the way you treated was a disgrace. What do you mean? I mean, actually, they were far too kind to him. What does Mr. Longley expect? The BBC to treat him wonderfully? He's a convicted paedophile.
He should have gone to prison. He absolutely should have gone to prison. But the magistrate who didn't send him to prison was, in fact, a Freemason. And there's another argument, right? But these people have the tremendous ability to keep people on their side because they are so plausible. And they're so good at spreading these lies of what they did or didn't do. They have no accountability whatsoever. And it happened with my own children. So even to this day, 20 years on, there are people that still think I'm a black witch because I put my children's paedophile in prison, and there's still people that thought he was wonderful and how could I have done that? And he's choosing people to ring fence him to make him look good. That is what they do. The way he's playing this out is typical of an abuser in plain sight.
Yeah, that's interesting. But I mean, it plays into, Marilyn, something quite disturbing about British society. I've always felt.
And the BBC.
Well, the BBC being, you know, at the centre of our culture, if you like, we have this kind of strange attitude towards paedophiles. We don't come down on them hard enough. It's pretty much standard procedure in the courts that for your first paedophile offence you don't get sent to jail, no matter how serious it is. Well, you should be sent. Huw Edwards should have been sent to jail. Here's another one of his supporters on social media. This was a guy, this is a local politician, Terry Davis of Plaid Cymru, who represents the Taoiseach ward in Llanelli, I should say. Writing in Welsh, he wrote, "You're worth the world, Huw." Councillor Chris Bissex-Foster of Labour for Aberbargode was another, I'm sure I'm pronouncing these terribly, by the way, was another to share the good wishes. One other friend said, "Looking good, Huw, best memories." Another told him to hurry back, and so on and so forth. All of these people don't understand the gravity of his crime, the seriousness of his crime. You know, having these pictures means you contribute to the just unimaginable torture and abuse of these children.
Absolutely.
These children are abused for these pictures.
But none of these people, they're equally, I mean, this raises more questions about these people than answers, quite honestly, because if you can be that stupid, that naive, just complete disregard. He actually did this. He was convicted of it, for goodness sake. No one has stepped out and thought, what is this doing to those he abused? How re-traumatized are they now? They're probably struggling to get on with their lives. And then this toad pops up again because they will not leave it alone. They're all the same. They cannot be wrong. Even if people say they're guilty, they still won't accept it. They will not accept it. And as a typical abuser, as a typical narcissist, they keep on coming back and trying to prove the point that it wasn't my fault. And I mean, shame on those people that have not done their research and have not seen the other side of the story, which is there are people here that he harmed, and that's why he was convicted. He should have been behind bars. It was appalling that he wasn't. And as I said, the magistrate was a Freemason, and you got another problem there.
Well, we don't know whether Huw Edwards was a Freemason.
No, I didn't say he was. The magistrate was.
Well, it's not necessarily wrong to be a Freemason.
Okay.
But that notwithstanding, what do you say, Marilyn, to people who say, well, look, he didn't actually personally abuse children, he just had some nasty pictures? What do you say to those people who say possession of pictures isn't the same as child abuse?
Completely ignorant. In every way, they're ignorant, because these are not just child pictures. These are real children being actually abused in the most heinous way. These are not just images. They are children being abused and raped and whatever. And someone is getting off on that. And anyone that can't see that is just ignorant to the truth, are basically have got no empathy whatsoever, and are just literally up their own backsides, and they don't even care about the reality of what he did and what so many like him do. And that's outrageous. Outrage.
Can a paedophile be rehabilitated?
No, not in my view. I mean, I think if you're young, what I would like to go to, which is what I try and do, is to say, I've been into prisons, I know where it starts. You're not born like it. Something happens traumatic in your childhood, and some children overcome that and they go on with it, and others don't have resilience, have low emotional intelligence, behaviors in school are not picked up on, and so it goes and it promotes, and so it grows on, and so all of that sort of thing. The younger you can tease that out and find someone who has got this interest in children, the younger they are, the better chance you have, because your brain is still malleable with the right therapy, if you like. I think the younger, say you were 16 and you did something like this, then there is a chance, if you were remorseful, that's the point, if you admitted your guilt and you were really remorseful. But the longer it goes on, and Huw Edwards was, you know, quite some age before this was found out, so the likelihood of him being rehabilitated, I personally don't believe they can. I think it's a terrible risk to just think they can. And for me, all right, you can say the jury's out on it, but once you've done it, you've done it. And how do we know you're not going to do it again? I knew a chap who was very much, he's a global person involved with how paedophiles think. And he told me that if you are even thinking about an interest sexually in children, even if you're thinking about it and you haven't done anything, if you're thinking about it for at least 6 months, you are paedophilic.
Yeah, and I don't think that there's no way of being cured of that, and there's no.
Can't take the risk. You can't take the risk.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Life is involved, and I'm sorry. Tough luck. You know, if you, and the trouble is, they don't. There's a wonderful charity out there. It's the only one in the country, called Stop It Now. If you've got inappropriate thoughts of children, they will help teenagers. So, well, anyone who thinks, you know, I really don't want to be like this. I want to change. I want to change. They will help you. But, you know, they don't want to be helped, a lot of them. They quite enjoy it.
They like their lives. I don't know about Huw Edwards. What did you call him? Some kind of toad? What did you call?
When they've been found out.
What did you call Huw Edwards? A toad or something?
Grubby little toad.
A grubby little toad.
And I hope he goes down his grubby little hole where the toads live.
Let's hope so. Marilyn, I've got to go, but it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time. That's the one and only Marilyn Hawes, Chief Executive Officer of Freedom from Abuse, a tireless campaigner on the behalf of children and the way they are abused. And that's what Huw Edwards is guilty of, you know, as that Marilyn quite rightly says. People say, oh, well, he only had pictures. Well, those pictures have to be taken, and to take those pictures, these are just hardcore pictures of children being abused. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. He had those in his possession, therefore he's complicit in what happened to those poor little kids, and for that he can go straight to hell. And I'm here to tell you, Huw, if you're watching your comeback, if you're planning one, ain't gonna happen. What are all those BBC people doing? Oh, Huw, yeah, BBC treated you really badly. Yeah, good luck with your comeback. Yeah, I'm missing your work. Missing your work. You just read auto cues for about £450,000 a year. Nice work if you can get it, but he's lost that job, hasn't he? He ain't coming back, folks. But why did those BBC people all leap to his defence? What is wrong with them? 03